Welcome to this week's edition of Mountain Outhouse. I'm your host, Jam Jam. This is the crazy to happen in running this week. This week's stories include a new Wonderland Trail FKT, Nolan's 14 CairnGate, and Wardian's Leadville 100 Pikes Peak Double Down. This first story comes to us from the Pacific Northwest and the 93-mile-long Wonderland Trail Loop. We are following up on the attempt by Allison, Macsas, and Mallory to break the FKT, or fastest known time, of 31 hours, 11 minutes. Well, these two ladies are now securely in the running for the 2017 Ultra Womance of the Year after they smashed the loop together in just over 29 hours, unsupported. These two ladies are also super active in the outdoor scene, with Macsas co-owning Rogue Expeditions and Brooks as the owner of Spectrum Trail Racing. Kudos, ladies. Ultra hiker and ultra runner Andrew Skurka dropped a 2010 Anton Krupicka FKT on the 26-mile Pawnee Buchanan Loop in the Indian Peaks Wilderness of Colorado. Skurka's self-described moderate effort on this loop shows he is in fine shape heading into next week's UTMB, where he will race for the first time. Traditionally known as a long-distance thru hiker, Skurka may slip under the radar as a serious contender, but mark my words, don't count this dude out. Also, Skurka, if you're out there listening, meet me in Frozen Head in 2018. Say April 1, okay? This week also saw a new ladies FKT on the lower 48's highest 14er, Mount Whitney. Tina Lewis ascended in 2 hours 57 minutes, setting a new up record on the Mountaineers route. Her car-to-car round trip of 5:36 was, however, not as fast as Charity Dubberly's 5 hour 10 minutes set just a week prior. Gina Lucrezi still has the Mount Whitney Trail FKT, which sticks to the standard route of 3:09 and 5:29 car-to-car. So with all this FKT talk, this brings us back around to how to best verify a record. In this day and age of Strava, shorter day long FKTs are pretty easy to prove. Simply wear your GPS watch and upload to Strava to prove it. But what about longer attempts day after day? Certainly you could bring a rechargeable solar battery charger and record each day's journey via a watch, or alternatively carry a spot tracking device, which typically has a 1 to 2 week battery life. If you do none of these things and claim an FKT, you're basically setting yourself up for major scrutiny. Meet Dan Binde, the Mount Katahdin sign surfer, who claims a 53-day, 23-hour unsupported FKT on the Appalachian Trail. We briefly mentioned him last month, but now more details are emerging via an Outside Online article. His time would better Heather Anderson's unsupported record on the 2,000-plus mile long trail. He did have a satellite tracker, which notoriously are spotty in parts of the highly tree-covered AT. Even record holders like Anderson and Scott Jurek had some blacked out areas, but he boasted a 17-day section with no data points. That's 17 days. Despite some inconsistencies in his spot data and trip reports, Binde still hasn't provided any more definitive proof to Peter Backwin's FKT board's website to dispel all doubts. At this point, we will just have to wait and see if any more info comes to light. Lying in that space between FKT and a real race, the Nolan's 14 has become more and more popular over the past few years. In its early days, the route, which connects 14 Colorado 14ers in about a 100-mile distance in the Sawatch Range, was actually a race with a set start time. Now, due to Forest Service regulations, it exists as a route with no formal organization, but a loose set of rules. With the spurring popularity of those attempting and training on the route, Megan Hicks, previous finisher, reports that lines and trails have developed and even cairns have popped up, marking the way. So Outhouse Nation, if you see cairns on the Nolan's route, smash them, bash them, and get rid of these mother... On to some race recaps. There were a lot. The 90-kilometer Ultra Vassan just took place in Sweden, and our boy Olav Olsson took the win on this summer version of the world's oldest, longest, and largest cross-country ski races. Olav outran American Pat Reagan in the final 7 miles to win in just over a minute. Such a close finish for these two badasses. In the ladies' race, Ida Nilsson won by a much larger 20-minute margin, also setting a new course record. Yeah. The TransRockies 6-day race across the Colorado Rockies wrapped up this past week with some new and familiar faces on the podium. Pima Pirates, Catlo Shippick, and Charlie Ware of Tucson took home the overall men's win, covering the 120 plus miles in a combined time of 13 hours, 26 minutes, almost an hour ahead of second place. For the ladies, it was once again the Goo Crew duo of Keely Henninger and Amanda Basham, another blossoming ultra romance in the works there. They were just over 1 hour total combined time behind the Pirates for their second consecutive win. Next up is the Leadville 100, which is North America's largest 100-mile foot race and one of the oldest. Camille Herron went out of the gates like a rocket, apparently mixing it up with the lead men early on before dropping at Twin Lakes outbound with hip pain. This opened things up for Devin Yanko to later on take the lead on the return from Hope Pass and cruise to her first Leadville win in 20 hours, 46 minutes. Ian Sharman, of Ultra Sharman, took home his fourth Leadville 100 victory in 5 years with a dominating 1 hour victory despite some major issues this year, including a 2-mile course detour due to a wrong turn. Michael Wardian also finished his first Leadville 100 this year and decided to maximize his time in Colorado by zipping down to Pikes Peak Marathon with just a 30-minute nap to tackle both Colorado Classics in the same weekend. Wardian bettered Marshall Ulrich's double combined time by almost 5 hours. Okay, gotta touch on the Pikes winners, which included Remy Binde for the men in 3:37 and Christina Mascarenas in 4:38. Joe Gray dominated the previous day's ascent in 2:08, while top female ascender was Sirkalim Abra. Ultra running built its entire existence upon the zero drop and foot-shaped shoe platform, so this will come as a shocker. Ready for it? Ultra has just announced the new HIIT XT cross-trainer shoe with a 24mm stack height in the rear and an 18mm up front. I'm doing the quick math on that one, and I'm not getting a zero drop here, folks. Are we the only ones baffled as to how this product can exist? Ultra, we are awaiting a response. Ever wanted to immerse yourself in a virtual environment on that treadmill run, but YouTube videos just aren't cutting it? Check out this 360 virtual reality treadmill, complete with revolutionary slippery shoes. Who will be the first to virtually run for 24 hours on this thing? Any takers? Garry Robbins, infamous for the Robbins right turn at the 2017 Barkley Marathons and recently minted Nolan's 14 finisher, has officially announced he is 100% in for the 2018 Barkley Marathons. My question, will your boy Jared Campbell be joining ya? We've all heard of athlete-branded packs, aka the Ultimate Direction Anton pack, and Nathan's Vapor How, as well as athlete-branded shoes, aka the Hoka One One Speed Goat, and socks, aka Dry Max Walmsley's, but this may be a first. Spring Nutrition has created athlete signature gels, first with the Sally McRae endorsed McRae-Covery, which contains rice, bananas, and pea protein. Also in the works is the secret recipe but vegan Canaday gel, endorsed by runner Stage Canaday. Some Beer Mile footage was leaked from Flagstaff, Arizona this week, potentially involving Twitter's @BlowUpArch. Take a look and decide for yourself. T-Mobile CEO John Legere is well known for supporting the running industry with his sponsorship of Iron Michael Wardian's 7 marathons on 7 continents in 7 days run, as well as hooking him and Meb up with T-Mobile onesies prior to the Boston Marathon. He recently has been bitten himself by the trail running bug, as seen on photos he posted to Twitter of him mountain running. Dope, dude. Still waiting on that onesie myself, by the way. John, you're welcome anytime to one of our Arizona trail runs. Come on down. In a new segment, we are titling Ultra Burn of the Week. We are highlighting just that. This week's story comes via a Facebook post by Leon Lutz, who says, and I quote, "Colorado, where the woman checking tickets at gate A49 tells the guy in front of me wearing the Leadville 100 shirt, 'Son, when you're ready, come up and see us in Silverton for the Hard Rock.'" Oh shit, son! If you haven't heard about the debacle surrounding the 2017 IAU World 24-Hour Championships, let me enlighten you. Several weeks after this year's race, it was announced that a timing issue at the event, resulting in missed laps, changed up the leaderboard, moving the USA teams down in the standings. If you recall from the event itself, they had major timing issues race day, with athletes not knowing race standings for many hours during the event. After an appeal by Team USA, the ladies reclaimed gold after team manager Howard Nippert helped prove that one of Catelyn Nagy's laps had been missed by the timers. Thank goodness for GPS data, folks. This one lap error did make the difference for the ladies. The men also moved back up to secure a final standing of bronze in the event. The results were so close that less than a half mile scored between the top 3 runners separated the top teams. We now go to a video submitted from Outhouse viewer at Ariana Patmos of the finish line of the Waldo 100K this year. Honestly, folks, I had thought we put the hand-holding finish line to rest this year in 2017. Lord balls, what the f is going on out there in Oregon? Don't these people realize it's a race to the finish, even in an ultra? This is no longer an acceptable way to earn a nomination to the Ultra Bromance of the Year award, if you were wondering. Did you catch that eclipse this week? Well, Outhouse viewer Dave Parson did on his trail run in Oregon. He even made a video and was sure to use his legit eclipse sunglasses. Check it out.
All right, it's starting to happen. All of the light is starting to look pretty weird. Shadows have got moons in them everywhere. It's getting a lot darker right now. I better hurry up and put my eclipse sunglasses on here. Hard face.
We've had a lot of Outhouse submissions via social media coming in, and here are a few of our favorites. Enjoy it.
All right, Mountain Outhouse. We are here. Dustin Abney, last year's finisher. James Zimbaga, volunteer extraordinaire. Jeremy Hanson, Rob Gunn, race director. So we're here we're going to give you all a quick tour of our outhouse.
Welcome to my crib.
It smells pretty good, doesn't it?
This is where the magic happens. Nobody's used it yet.
Oh, this is where the magic happens. So this is where we're at. We're nice, we're comfortable. It's a little warm, 90-ish degrees, but it's gonna get steamy in here. So it's all day will be raunchy, but Habanero 100, hottest race in Texas. It's about to go down. How many people are gonna finish, Jeremy?
5 maybe.
James?
I don't know, man. I almost died out there, just marking half of it.
Dustin, you finished last year. Any predictions?
7.
Well, hey, you never know. Thanks again, Mountain Outhouse. Thanks for the awesome job you guys do. See you later.
Yes, sir.
And this might be our favorite, a video from Michael Arend in Chamonix, France, where coincidentally, I'm headed next.
Sending compliments and much love from Chamonix to Mountain Outpost.
Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time. If you have crazy stories to share or an FKT to debunk, tweet us or dip into our Insta DMs at Mountain Outpost. Have a shitty week. Support this show by purchasing this pair of ridiculous Jam Jam sunglasses, now available at the link below. You can also now become a Patreon supporter and enjoy perks such as our private Facebook group, extended Glasses Come Off segment of this very newscast, and behind the scenes for more interaction. Thanks to the now 93 of you amazing supporters who have jumped on board. We're now just a couple Patreon supporters away from you voting on our next Mountain Outpost Challenge. Will it be a redo of the Beer 10K or maybe Mystery Drop Bag version 2? Support us, help decide. Laters.